Kwa sasa moja kwa moja naarifiwa kwamba tuelekee katika majengo ya bunge ambapo kamati ya bunge inazungumzia kuhusu mimba za mapema. Tusikilize wanayosema.
Resounding, and in some instances perpetrators of child abuse have been prosecuted and convicted through the criminal justice system as the commission takes disciplinary proceedings against registered teachers. So we complement each other. We take the disciplinary process. The civil society helps with taking these cases to the courts, and sometimes it helps because you will know in some instances these cases the perpetrators work with the parents sometimes, and they collude with even members of society, and therefore these cases never get to us. And so these civil societies have really assisted us in going even to the ground, working with the chiefs and so on, and making sure that even if the parents or even our school administrators do not want to take the cases forward, then this is an art, and we get to the bottom of it. We discipline the teachers who will be found to have covered up, and the case is also taken to court. The Commission has cushioned itself under the Code of Regulation for Teachers to ensure that it proceeds with its disciplinary action against a teacher whose criminal proceedings are pending before a court of law, or who has been acquitted by a court of law for an offense which the Commission is handling. And so we are covered, and we go on with these cases, even when the court is doing its own part. We have also partnerships with state and non-state agencies on protection of children, and subject to Article 249(2) of the Constitution as a guiding principle in the performance of its functions and the exercise of its powers, the Commission is mandated by Section 4 of the TSC Act to consult with state and non-state actors in the education sector. Accordingly, in regard to promoting the protection of the right of children to protection, participation, development, and survival as provided in Section 4Q of the Basic Education Act, the Commission plays a complementary role to the Ministry of Education in regulating behavior of registered teachers towards learners to enhance access to basic education as a right. Having said that, Chair, let me just briefly talk about the challenges in curbing immoral behavior against learners in our schools. Despite sound legal framework in place, general members of the public continue to prey on learners for sex and reward the children victims with little favors. And this is very disheartening. Sometimes our teachers are also at a loss what to do. And that's why I said from the beginning, this must be a concerted effort for all of us. Because teachers are in school and they have a whole lot to do. They have to implement the curriculum, the co-curriculum, and they have to ensure the safety of these children. Sometimes it gets to be too much, and sometimes this also happens outside the school environment, when children are on the road going home, and sometimes at home. And even where our teachers sometimes find that the children have been molested at home, this is covered up. So as a society, where did the rain start beating us? And these are some of the challenges we are fighting. And of course, there is a lot of cover-up. Our teachers are compromised. Other government agencies are compromised. And the poor child is left at the mercies of the gods, I guess. So learners are vulnerable targets owing to their tender age. Thus, adults are more predisposed to taking advantage of youthful learners. Numerous cases go unreported due to ignorance and sometimes poverty of parents or guardians, and the victims and or cultural underpinnings in some communities which frustrate disclosure of offenders. So, Chair, what we should be asking ourselves is, what do we do for the poor child, where the culture actually doesn't care about them, where we, the adults, make the child a victim. What should we do? And this is also a challenge for us as the Teacher Service Commission and for our teachers. Some cultural practices encourage early marriages which target school-going children. Currently, actually, we have a case, and I won't mention the school because we are still doing some investigations, where our teachers have been attacked because they went to get a girl from a home where she had been forced into an early marriage. And so the community has went back, after they rescued the girl, the parents or the society, the community around there, went to that school and attacked our teachers because they said our teachers shouldn't have gotten the bride from the home. What do we do as a commission? What do we do as a society? These are the challenges we should be talking about. There are instances where perpetrators compromise parents, guardians, and or victims so that the cases are not reported. And even where they are reported, when the child, for example, appears before the commission, they are compromised. The parents are compromised, the child is compromised, and we go ahead and lose such cases. I think we need to come up firmly and have a national debate on how to end these things. And in conclusion, Chair, it is clear that the Commission lays emphasis on condition of good moral standing at the point of registration of teachers as a safeguard measure against cases of pedophiles sneaking into the teaching service. It considers offenses of immoral behavior by teachers to be very serious, leading to removal of a teacher's name from the register. It has deregistered a total of 279 teachers from the register of teachers and gazetted them. Has upheld its decision to register a total of 279 teachers who applied for reinstatement of their names to the register of teachers. And finally, as I get to the end of this, Chair, as I said from the beginning, let us not narrow this down to only the school situation, because children are hidden back home and they are impregnated and it goes unreported and the circle of poverty repeats itself. And maybe, Chair, as we have this national debate, it's time we ask ourselves, you know, we get to know of molested, the girl child who is molested because usually they end up in pregnancy, and like they say, you can't hide pregnancy.